Hello everyone, today is March 3rd, 2017, and I wanted to make a video that is quite different from what I usually do. You can probably already tell that by the title of the video. I want to discuss something that's been quite an issue for me for the past 2.5, probably 2 to 2.5 years. I don't know exactly. And that has been figuring out anxiety, depression, and ADD, or ADHD, an attention disorder. Now, to clarify, because I know I sounded a little bit unsure on that last one, it hasn't been set in stone that I have an attention disorder, but it is very, very likely. I'm currently discussing it with my doctor, and we're working on ways to help figure out what I might have and how to fix that. So I apologize if you're a regular viewer of this channel. This is going to be quite different, as if you're not a regular viewer of this channel, you can see in the background I've got a bunch of computer crap. That's what I do. And just so you don't think I'm some kind of messy hoarder, this is just normal for me, which I'll get into a little bit later. So, a little bit of history. My father was recently diagnosed in the last year. If you hear that noise, that's my coffee maker. Sorry. My father was recently diagnosed with, it's not that bad, guys, I'm sorry, depression. Nothing too serious, but he's had depression most likely for about 10 years, from what he and my mother have said. My mother has an anxiety disorder, although she's never been properly diagnosed. My grandmother, or her mother, was a nurse and a, not psychiatrist, but something like that I can't remember. Basically, she is 100% certain my mother has an anxiety disorder, and I believe that, I don't know if those things are inherited, but I kind of got both of those, it seems. Don't know how that works, but it might just be a coincidence, but it does seem like that's what's happened. My current struggle is with school, mainly. Now, I am in my third year of college. I go to a very good, big college, the Rochester Institute of Technology, RIT, in Rochester, New York, just in case you're interested. And this last year has been incredibly difficult for me. I mean, ridiculous. Part of that is because I've got a lot of classes that are oriented around programming, which is sitting at the computer, writing code, and that's it. And this is kind of where the ADHD ties in, or ADD. I'm sorry, I don't know which one just yet. They might be kind of the same thing, who knows? If there's something that I don't find interesting and I'm just being forced to do it over and over, I lose any interest I have in that, and then I won't want to do it. So with programming, you have to go to class every day, you have to pay attention to every single word that the professor says, and you have to sit down for 4 hours a night and type code. And I hate that. I absolutely hate it. I can't stand it. But I have to do it in order to pass. And today, by the way, today I had a bit of a personal issue and a mental breakdown, kind of, and I've recovered a little bit, and I want to start fresh, and that's why I'm making this video. So we had an exam in the programming class today. Last night I was supposed to study by doing the practice practical, which is typing out code and doing it, and I most likely would have passed 100% if I had done that and paid attention. But I couldn't pay attention, and I didn't finish the practice practical. Now you might think, well, you're just lazy, you didn't do it, you just played Minecraft, which is what I actually did, because that keeps me calm, by the way. But it's not that I didn't want to do it so much, is that I just couldn't bring myself to do it. It's, again, when I explained this to somebody else, they said, you're just being lazy, just do it and get it over with. But it's not quite that simple. And it's not only the programming class that this is an issue in. I ended up getting a D in the math class, which I need a C in to go to the next level. By the way, I'm in the second programming class. I got a 73, and you need a 70 to go on to the next level. I have no idea how I did that, but I did. So now I'm in this position. As for anxiety in school, there's currently a class I'm taking that I have to take. It's a visual communication class, which is basically you go to class, you discuss questions that you wrote for homework about some paper, and you have to talk to the class about them and discuss openly. Well, there's about 25 people in that class, and all the chairs are on wheels, which is kind of weird, and you spread them all out, and you sit in this giant circle, and you discuss. And you only get points if you add a contribution to the discussion, and you need at least 2 to get the A, which is 10 points. Talking in that class is incredibly freaking difficult for me. There's a lot of people, and all those people are pointing towards you, except for, the people on the sides of you, I guess. And after I say something and add this contribution to the discussion, my hands will start shaking, or I'll just have to sit there and breathe for a second because I get kind of lightheaded and tingly all over, and it makes it very difficult. And those are just 2 examples. I have other classes. Some are much easier. I'm taking an online class, which is nothing, minimal effort class. But school has just been incredibly difficult. Now, I quit my job recently. I used to work at a grocery store, Wegmans, and I was in the bakery department. It wasn't something I wanted to do, and I was really bored. So I quit and actually went back to a job that I had before, and I'm also working at the college. So that has cut down on my stress level a little bit. But it hasn't helped in any way with my depression, anxiety, and ADHD. Now, I just realized I haven't talked about the depression part yet. This is something that I'm not, again, as I said, we're looking into this. We're not 100% sure about it. I think, and my doctor seems to think the same thing, that part of the depression is related to, not paying attention in class, doing poorly on an exam, like I mentioned before, and then just feeling bad about it, and then feeling bad about yourself because you think you're a failure and stuff like that. So that's what I mean by depression. Now, it might not be depression, although now that I'm saying this out loud, maybe it is. I've lost a lot of interest in my hobby. My channel's been kind of slow moving and blank for the past 2 months. Even before that, it had slowed down quite a bit. I haven't had an interest recently in pulling that Mac down off the shelf and screwing around with it like I used to. My relationship has kind of suffered a little bit as well, because I'm always, he says I'm being mopey, but I'm not being mopey. I'm just feeling like garbage all the time. And it's nothing to do with my relationship or anything like that. It's just the way that I feel. So I've rambled on for 9 minutes. If you're still with me, thank you. I want to kind of wrap up this video in some way. My chair keeps sinking down. It drives me crazy. So, as I mentioned a little bit before, I had a mini mental breakdown where I failed that exam. I felt like crap about it. I went out to my car and uncontrollably sobbed. Now, that's a little embarrassing to admit, but I want to get it out there because I'm not one to let emotions control me like that. I've never done that before, and I sat there for half an hour in my car just with it on and thought, I can't I need to do something. Um, I'm really letting things that are sort of out of my control me, but it's not something that can't be managed to some extent. So, what I'm going to do today, and this is kind of for future me to look back on and look at, is first of all, I'm going to clean up this room because this room is incredibly messy right now and it's stressing me out. I'm going to list a bunch of stuff for sale just on local classifieds because I've got a lot of stuff in the other room that just needs to go away and it's taking up room, and I think that stresses me out. I'm going to do both of those things. I'm going to clean this area of my desk off, which you can't see, but it's not bad, but it's a little cluttered. Simplify it so there's no distractions. And I'm going to sit down later and just bang out some homework and get it done. In addition to that, I'm going to set myself some schedules, some more rigid schedules. I'm actually going to pay attention to this time. Now I have a Google Calendar set up. It's actually right here in the corner of my screen, and I have things like go to class, go to work, this assignment's due today. But I'm going to try and trick myself a little bit, move due dates way before the assignments actually due so I get them done. I will know in my mind that it's not true and that I do have extra time, which, again, attention disorder. If something's not due, then I won't do it until the very last second. But I'm going to try. I'm going to try also to wake up at the same time every day, except for actually the same time every day, pretty much, because I have to be up at 8 a.m. to go somewhere every day. I want to get out of bed at 6:30, take a shower, make breakfast, coffee, sit for 10 minutes, then go, instead of waking up at 7:30 and getting dressed in 5 minutes and leaving, because that's not good. To kind of go along with that, I want to be laying in bed at 11:30, put down my phone and try to go to sleep by 12. Did I say 12:30? I think I said 11:30. I don't know. Try to go to sleep by midnight. Put down everything, start trying to fall asleep at midnight. Maybe even earlier. I don't know. We'll see how it works, because I never wake up really feeling tired. I just don't feel motivated. So those are a couple things I want to do. I had something else, but I forgot, as usual. Yeah, that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to keep going to the doctor as well. If I do have an attention disorder, I think that taking something for that is going to help me with everything quite a bit. So I'm hoping that it is found that something that I can take will help me out significantly, because that would be just awesome. One last thing I want to add, not that it matters at all, I just want to put that in there. For my anxiety, I am currently taking something called Atarax, which is basically, what is it called? Benadryl. Very strong Benadryl. The recommended dosage, which is 50 milligrams, is way too much. 25 is even way too much, and today I'm going to try 10. 12 and a half, because they're 50 mils, so I quarter them. And see if that helps. Because, yes, it does help. The pill makes me feel a lot better. I feel kind of calm. But I'm so damn tired that I can't pay attention. That was what I found. I get so sleepy because of it. So I just wanted to throw that in there for kind of future me, I guess. I think that just about sums it up. I wanted to just word vomit at you guys. Also, okay, I thought of another thing to say. I'm sorry. Oftentimes when I'm in the car, or if I'm in the shower and nobody else is here, I'll talk to myself. That seems to help me just get things out and make me feel a little better. I'm not insane. I'm not like having a conversation with myself. I'm doing exactly what I'm doing now, but without a camera, where I'm just projecting. Um, I'm obviously recording this and uploading it for you guys, but if I'm just talking to myself in the car, I'll do the same thing. Pretend I'm talking to you guys, but I'm actually not. It just helps me get my thoughts out, and I think that's important. So now I promise this is the end of the video. I'm going to pause it or end it right here and upload it, and let me know what you guys think, if you have any suggestions or just want to discuss, or if you're having problems, maybe we can work them out together. So that is it for this one, guys. I'm not going away, so I'll see you in the next video whenever it happens to be uploaded. So, yeah, take care.